You want to buy Hollow Knight but are not sure whether you will enjoy it or not. Well, you are in the right place as I break down games and explain whether you would like it or not. By the end of this video, you will know whether Hollow Knight is for you or not. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. Hollow Knight is a Souls-like Metroidvania game. For those who are unfamiliar with those terms, Metroidvania means progression is locked behind abilities. Right from the start, you will notice that some areas are unreachable. It means that you need some abilities to access that area. For example, like this area, where you cannot go normally, but with an ability you can acquire later, you can reach this place. This does mean that you will get lost sometimes. That is a part of this game, and it happens to everyone who played this game for the first time. However, this issue only persists in the early stages of the game. Later, it doesn't happen when you get the hang of the game. Your character has a nail, which he uses to hit enemies and deal damage to them. When defeated, enemies drop Geo. There is a nail smith who will upgrade your nail for you in exchange for Geo and a special material. You can then unlock spells, some powerful ones. You can later upgrade those spells too. Then there are items which you can equip called charms, which give you the set effect upon wearing them. These effects include a direct upgrade to your spell damage or nail damage, or a shield which swirls around you. Some make you regen twice the health, some makes you invincible when you regen your health. However, you can equip a limited amount of them, so choose your loadout wisely. You can freely swap them when sitting on a bench. Coming to a bench, these are the save points of this game. When you rest on a bench, you are basically saving the game, or what is otherwise known as a checkpoint. Any death caused to you will result in you coming back to this bench. Speaking of dying, which will happen a lot in this game, you will lose all Geo when you die. In order to reclaim those lost Geo, you need to come back to the location of your death and defeat your shade. On the way to your shed, however, if you die again, then say goodbye to all the Geo you lost. This changes how you play the game, as you are not afraid of dying, you are more afraid of losing everything you have. Hollow Knight is a game where progression doesn't come from leveling up, it comes from getting better. Now all of this sounds good on paper, but what does playing Hollow Knight actually feel like? The gameplay in the very early stages feels confusing. It's like you are dropped into this unknown world and you roam around killing bugs. Later, when you get hold of the map and begin to understand how explorations work, the world starts to feel a bit familiar. Then you encounter bosses. You can feel the tension during your boss fights. You die to the bosses and then you respawn at the bench and then you come back to fight that boss again. This is called run back. Some bosses will take 3 tries to beat, while some will take like 10 tries. Patience and adapting to boss patterns is the key. Then after the stressful boss fights, you are back to exploration again, and the cycle continues. The story of Hollow Knight is not something which is told to you directly. It is hidden and cryptic, something the player needs to piece together themselves. The story is hidden in lore tablets, background designs, and NPC dialogues. Like any other Souls game, the story is somewhat hard to follow and figure out properly on your own. A lot of the text are vague, and it's easy to miss important details. No matter how hard you try to notice, there will be details you miss. Understanding the story feels less like watching a movie and more like solving a mystery. You will need to watch a YouTube video to understand the story a bit better. The environment of Hollow Knight is beautifully crafted. The backgrounds are hand drawn and are packed with details which rewards those who look closely. Every area feels different. Each one carries its own atmosphere, its own music, its own ambience. From the cold stillness of the forgotten crossroads to the lush green overgrowth of Green Path to the humid fungal wastes, everything feels visually polished, which is proof that you don't need realistic graphics to make a stunning game. The music is equally impressive. Some songs left a lasting impact on my head. There were moments where I stood still, not because I was stuck, but because the music made the area feel alive. I still find myself humming some of the various OSTs in the game. Together, the visuals and music create an atmosphere that makes Hollow Knight truly unforgettable. The game takes a significant amount of time to beat. If you just want to beat the main content, it will take about 40 hours of gameplay to beat. However, if you want to explore everything, do all the side content, collect everything this game has to offer, basically a 112% playthrough will take a long time. I am talking about 100 hours. What I am saying is, you can finish Hollow Knight and still miss half of the game without even realizing it. The game isn't meant to be played in a single go like a marathon. Burnout is inevitable. It's much better to take breaks when it starts to feel exhausting. Maybe switch to another game for a few days, then come back to it later. This will drastically improve playing the game experience. Now, I am not saying that Hollow Knight is bad. I enjoyed this game a lot. However, I did find that playing it in one go is a bit exhausting. Hollow Knight is loved by millions of players. It is one of the most popular Metroidvania out there. It is an inspiration for all the indie devs out there. It has an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam with over 170,000 reviews. I would recommend this to people who enjoy Souls like games or platformers or difficulty in general. If that sounds like you should definitely purchase Hollow Knight. However, if you are someone who hates getting lost or wants clear objectives or dislikes backtracking, then this game isn't meant for you.